Well, there again, this is Jay, the Doing It Right guy. We're going to go over a couple things on windows again. This time we're going to talk about spacers. Spacers are the piece that actually goes between the panes of glass, whether it's double pane or triple pane. Single pane doesn't have a spacer because it's just one piece of glass. So let me grab the camera and I'm going to show you some close-ups and some different things that you should be looking for, because the spacer is going to have a lot to do with how much heat gets conducted back and forth through the glass, and it's also going to have a lot to do with seal failure on glass, which is a common occurrence. Let's go to my little table. Here you have a couple different systems on the market, and spacers always have to do with seal failure. So here's what we got. This piece here is made out of aluminum. Now aluminum conducts 1,114 BTUs per hour per square foot. So what does all that mean? It means as a material, being aluminum, if it's warm in your house, it's going to race the heat out through the glass a lot faster, and if it's hot or humid outside, it's going to race the heat right back in because it's a very conductive material. So it's not very good to use as a spacer. You can also see this is 4 separate pieces. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out you now have to put sealants at each corner and hope that those sealants don't fail, because it only takes one corner to fail and then you have seal failure. Here is a piece, this is a butyl tape on the back, and this is made out of foam. It's kind of like a noodle. Now this is good for low conductivity, but the issues that are commonly seen with this are buckling and sagging because there's really no structural support. And I'm going to show you pictures of that in just a moment. The best spacer I have found on the market is a one piece. It's all one piece. And it is stainless steel. Now they make thermoses out of stainless steel because they're thermally efficient. They don't make thermoses out of aluminum. Stainless steel also doesn't rust or corrode, and clearly you don't have to put sealants at the corners. Here's a piece that happens to be double pane. That is a one-piece stainless steel system that is not butt jointed down in the corner. And here's a good example of seal failure. When the gas is leaked out between the glass, then the lowy coatings on the glass start to break down and just show these ugly spots. Also, you'll notice on the 4-piece aluminum spacer, it is common for them to have to fill it in a, you can see that little hole, and then you have to put a screw through the hole to plug it to keep the gas from leaking out of there. So now you've made it even worse. Yes, that's bacteria because of seal failure. Kind of ugly. Here's the super spacer stuff. You can see the buckling and sagging. And then here you can see the cracks from the dry rot. So not really that good of a system. So this page here, you can see the top, no need for sealants at the corners, one-piece stainless steel, structurally supportive, thermally efficient, won't rust or corrode. The foam spacer, typically not structurally supportive because it's flimsy like a noodle, and buckling and sagging issues. And the aluminum spacer is just riddled with problems, not structurally supportive, conducts a ton of heat, and you have to put sealants at the corners. There's your double pane and your triple pane. Obviously triple pane you would get 2 spacers and 2 gas-filled spaces. Much cleaner, more structurally supportive, very thermally efficient. You can see that they make thermoses out of them. You can see that these are filled in a gas chamber. And they certainly wouldn't be making structures like these out of stainless steel if they were prone to rusting or corrosion. Anyway, those are your tips on spacers that go between the glass. Make sure you know what they are when these companies come out. And thanks again for listening. Tune in again.